The story of Goodwill began in the tradition of Richard Allen, founder of Mother Bethel AME Church, who led African Americans out of the balcony of St. George Methodist Church in Philadelphia and established a new place of worship where they could practice their faith freely and with dignity. In 1868, a group of 100 former slaves who worshiped in the balcony of Salem Black River Presbyterian Church, East Sumter County, South Carolina, sought permission from the elders of Brake Church to leave Brake Church to begin their own worshiping community. When permission was granted, those persons left Brake Church and walked 2 miles down the road and began a new work, which later became the Goodwill Presbyterian Church and the Goodwill Parochial School. This documentary tells the story of the Goodwill Parochial School, which served as an educational institution for African American children from the late 1860s to 1960, 6 years after Brown versus the Board of Education and Separate but Equal, and the story of 4 visionaries whose goal was to renovate the old schoolhouse for community use after it stood dormant for many years.
John B. Moses, Ida Lou Monroe Brogdon, Lily B. Nelson, and Ruby Jean Cooper Boyd. That these people were hoping that they could create a community center that would bring back the best of the old Goodwill Parochial School. Well, we're here today to celebrate the opening of that community center that they dreamed about many years ago.
We just felt as if it was worth the effort and time to try to see if we could bring it back to life. The school was actually the heart of the community.
The Goodwill School is the root of all the fabrics of the families of all of these communities who attended here, got their foundation, and it was a place of unifying and bringing these families, these different families from the various communities around here together, and it was for a common good.
Teachers had control over their class at that time. They had good discipline in it because they realized the fact that if you didn't have an environment where you could learning could not take place. And so they had discipline in there. We got individual attention. They knew the names of everybody. They knew the parents of everybody. And if you misbehave, they made sure that they let your parents know you misbehave.
When we met every day, we had devotion. And after devotion, during devotion, we could see our friends, our brothers and our sisters, and kind of communicate then. Because once we got into the classrooms, it was all on academics.
And you couldn't put that word can't in your vocabulary. It was you will do it. Can't was not acceptable.
I want to thank God, first of all, for allowing me at age 93 to still be around. Schools were separate and unequal.
We had to go across the yard to the new building, that little building outside. We had to go out there for a class, home economic class over there. And everything was really nice. We didn't have too many teachers, and Reverend Nelson, he kept all of us in line. and we had stuff on at the school.
We had to walk to school. Some of us walked to school 4 and 5 miles. We had to walk all the way from Scottsville down here to school. And at that time, we didn't have the option of riding the school bus. Only white kids rode the school bus. They would ride the school bus and throw paper out the window at us while we were walking to school.
We didn't have lunch at the school there. And what I did was I hung my lunch up on a tree until I get back home. So we have some of these along the road going back.
Those persons sometime who had to ride to school on a wagon, and my dad brought me on wagon, he would put coals in a bucket to keep us warm on the back of the wagon until we got to school.
Walking by faith and not by sight. Because we believe that by and by, we're going to be able to do it.
My mom and her family members were here. They attended the school.
There are 4 generations of families that attended this school. My father, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, and my great-great-grandmother. My great-great-grandmother, Miss Sadie Caesar, was the school cook for many, many years.
I attended the old schoolhouse, started here back in the first grade. My mother, Caddy Estelle Cooper, and her brothers, they attended this school.
Well, even back in the 80s, there were folk looking, wondering, what could we do with that old schoolhouse? It has withstood the storm, withstood the weather, and was just standing there. And so in 1997, they formed the Goodwill Educational Historical Society. 30 years more later, it's being accomplished. They dreamed a dream. They dreamed the impossible dream. They dreamed that one day that old schoolhouse, an old dilapidated building that was empty for more than 30 years, they looked and they began to wonder, what would happen if we could renovate that old building?
The teachers used to come in and teach here. There won't be teachers here now, but the building will become the teachers and the professors. And people will come into this building from near and wide to get a piece of the culture.
It has the possibility of really sharing the history of this community and the school.
We don't get out as we once did because of what's happening in the world. People are a little bit leery about that. So if we have a program here that talks about, the actual program would be exercising classes for elderly people as well as young folks as well.
The nearest city or town is Sumter, which is about 20-something miles from this building. So the people in the community really don't have any place to go or anything to do.
We'll be able to have a better retention rate, maybe because all our kids are leaving the church, going to different churches with the music and everything else. So we can do some different things in our own Presbyterian church to maintain those kids here.
I think pastors in the Black church can join with the Goodwill Educational Historical Society to preserve that history, and to have lessons and classes, not only Black History Month, but throughout the year, I believe, to let the youth and adults know, about the history and the heritage of our people, because it is being lost. And many of them really don't know the struggle, that they went through to get where they are today. So I think that's one thing we could do. I think in terms of whether it's here in the school, in the churches, whatever, to have classes on Black history lessons throughout the year, not just Black History Month, because a lot is being lost. A lot of our history is old history, oral history, not written down. And so I think the older folk who still know something about that old history, could really be an asset, to teach and to help the young people know the history that out of which we've come as a people.
Thank you for those who started this parochial school back in around the 1800s. Thank you to those teachers who thought it not robbery to come here in this country, in this area rather, and try to provide an education for our parents and our grandparents. Thank you to those founders. Miss Ruby Cooper Boyd is still with us, so I would say thank you to them for having the broad vision and the foresight to see the possibilities and potential.
Believe it or not, it may not seem like it, but they have all earned the side a little bit of saying, job well done.